Perfect. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the next Totem Tuesday on Live Reality Games. You can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/live reality games, to get all the coolest podcasts and updates with the cast of the Totem Pole. We're also covering Survivor Michigan. We have a few more interviews left with Melbourne Survivor, who just wrapped up the finale. Hopefully, when Liz pops on, I won't talk too much about Melbourne because we're here to talk about Totem Pole. And joining us today, Connor and Tessa. How are you two doing today?
Great.
I'm doing
Hi.
well.
Good. We'll start with Connor. Connor, tell us a little bit about yourself. How old you are, where you're from.
My name is Connor. I'm 22. I'm originally from North Carolina, hence the twang, but I live in Minnesota. And yeah, I think that's really it. I mean, I got a nasty Google.
Tessa?
I'm Tessa. I'm from Crossett, Arkansas. Dang, I said the whole name.
Okay.
I was trying to keep my life a secret. Okay. I'm from Arkansas, and I'm currently in school right now, and I'm majoring in psychology. I'm 22.
Oh, nice. So you two were unfortunately, spoiler alert for anybody watching at home right now that hasn't caught up on episode 7 yet. But Connor and Tessa were the latest people eliminated from the show. But before we got to that spot, you guys had to apply for the show. So how did you hear about it? Tessa, we'll start with you.
I heard about it through Wesley, actually. And I just sent in the application. He was like, I think you would be good for it. You should try out. So I tried out for it and I made it. So yeah.
Very cool. Connor, how'd you hear about this fun show?
I actually started watching since season 1. Like I've watched since the very beginning. And so I just kind of watched it, enjoyed it. Season 2 came out, watched it, enjoyed it. And I don't know what episode it was, but it was the one with Jorge and Athena on the thumbnail, one of the later episodes. And I saw in the description that you could apply. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get on, but it might be fun. So I applied. And then I just kept getting pushed, and I was surprised. Like, why am I here? Like, why do I keep getting pushed? But it worked. And then I ended up like, oh, okay, this is pretty nifty.
Oh, perfect. And then also joining us today is another host for us, Liz, the host of Melbourne Survivor.
Hey guys!
Which I promise not to talk about all the time with these two, but we'll get to Liz and we'll get to that at a later podcast. So,
Yep.
But the application process, Tessa, you said you heard right from Wes, the host of the show, and then Connor. In your early interviews, you said you had applied for a lot of these games in the past and just never got cast. So why do you think this one happened?
In terms of live games, I applied to one other and didn't get cast. And then like I was like, I just like applying. I don't know if I have like an applying addiction for applications. Like I don't know if I want to be the next like freaking dancer on some sort of dancing show. I'll probably end up there just a little applying for things. And so like I just kind of like applying, and then like I applied for Totem Pole, and I mean I didn't really think it would go anywhere, but it did, and I was thankful. I mean, and by the way, I want to clear something up. Wesley said I sent 2 applications. That is not true. I sent 2 videos. He only asked for 1, but I sent 2 videos because I can't leave things alone. Just for clarification, I'm not crazy. I'm just half crazy.
Good. I think it's just overachiever in you.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I have to say, like, I think Tessa was one of your favorites. She was so over the top, wasn't she?
Oh my gosh, both of these people. Love you both. I feel like you guys look like some of the best like confessionalists. Like every time you have a confessional from you and show up, I'd just be like cracking up laughing. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
So I guess what were your first thoughts when you arrived at this place? Like, what were your thoughts about like pulling up and seeing all these crazy people? Connor, I know you've played games online. So how was this meeting people in person for a change?
It was much different. I want to play one other reality game besides this. Shout out to Real Foot, but that was when I was 19 and weird. Now I'm just 22 and weird. But like for me, like the first thing I noticed, Tesla, you didn't need to add that. You could.
5.
But the first thing I noticed is honestly it was the house. I was like, this is a mansion. I'm a southern boy. I grew up in like a really like small town. I was like, whoa, this is huge. They got a balcony. I never even seen a balcony on like a house like this. Like it was pretty cool. So I just liked the house. It was big.
Tessa, was this a little out of your comfort zone meeting all these new people for the first time?
It wasn't actually. When I got there, I went like straight to everybody and I was like, "What's up? You know, my name is Tessa. How y'all doing?" And like, it was fun getting to know new people and just to see new personalities. Like, it was just so exciting. As soon as I got out, I was ready to meet everybody. So it was awesome. Like, yeah, it was great.
Did you two have any like standout people that you were either wanted to work with or on the other side like wanted to vote out or strategize against?
Connor, you can answer.
I mean, I said it in one of my earlier confessionals that Jackie is someone that as soon as the game started, I kind of gravitated towards someone I thought I could work well with and work with. Obviously that didn't really work out completely well, but like she's still cool. That was my first instinct was Jackie, and I kind of wanted to work with Nicole, but I really didn't have an opportunity to. I kind of wanted to see what would have happened there. Just curious what would have happened. In terms like I didn't really enter the game and looked at someone like I'm targeting you because I feel like that's way too soon. You don't know these people. Like I was gonna fill things out before I do anything else besides that. Like I was gonna be like, you have awful shoes. You're going home. Like doesn't make sense. So. I was like, hey, who's there? Sorry. Someone entered my room. But yeah, I mean that's kind of like I wanted to fill things out. But I mean everyone seemed really cool. The whole cast was really cool. I like pretty much like everyone.
Yeah, you spoke about Nicole real quick. What was a quick thought about her coming in as your baggage? I know you two had some issues in the past with the online games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I never really knew Nicole, but because I couldn't stay in the game long enough with her to get to know her, she kept booting me every time. But like I won't lie, I saw kind of her like I believe like just like getting there, and I wasn't like really like because I had that like, negative feeling of like this isn't gonna be good. Like I just like as soon as she walked through that door, I was like, well, yikes.
It is what it is, I guess.
Around me like you seem cool, 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 you seem cool. Then Nicole, I'm like, well, this is fun. It's very repeated.
Now, Tessa, you seem to at least bond with Sabrina pretty well at the end. Was that like an initial reaction with Sabrina, or was that something that developed over time?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You seem to be bonded pretty well with Sabrina at the end. Was that something you knew you were going to work with Sabrina? Or was that like something that developed over time?
What I knew it from the first challenge because we made the bet, you know, about the bet that we made. So I was like, okay, this is somebody that I like to. We kind of had like this agreement where she got me because I had her. So yeah.
Very cool. Was there anybody you were nervous about playing against, Tessa, or maybe somebody that just got to you?
Not got to me. Not really. Derek was a little bit intimidating at first, but I don't want to say too much.
No, it's okay.
I don't want to say too much. I'm sorry. Derek kind of got to me because of his attitude in the game. Mm-hmm. But after a while, I just knew that was his strategy, and that's how he was trying to do to win. So yeah. So like after I like found out that it was kind of I felt like it was an act, so I just didn't worry about it anymore. But at first, I seen him as a huge threat.
I think Liz and I did an early cast assessment too, and Liz, I think we said he was playing a pretty hard game at first, right?
Yeah. I don't think I had very high hopes for Derek.
He was pretty strong right off the bat. Speaking of right off the bat, though, first challenge, you guys are given weights, and you have to run up and down a hill multiple times, giving weights to people along the way. Was this something that was in someone's bag of wheelhouse, or was this something that you guys didn't really have high hopes for each other?
I had no high hopes for myself. I can't even. I was afraid my asthma as a child was going to come back to haunt me. Like I'm not really like a fast runner, but I was honestly very like after the challenge, after I got done with my part and got out, I was very content with how I did. I was like, oh my god, I got like top 7 in a running challenge, pulling up weight. I'll take it. But like I was so happy with that having my performance. Like most definitely, I was very satisfied.
And somebody that could say that they are possibly more satisfied. I don't know, Tessa, you took the crown on that one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were a little bit nervous winning that first competition, though, right, Liz?
Yes, a little bit.
I didn't expect to win it, to be honest. I felt like I got lucky because no one kept handing me baggage. And I was like, okay, like if I stay in the background, then nobody would notice me. And it worked. So I didn't expect to make it that far. I'm not gonna lie. But at the end, I knew since it was me, Sabrina, Madison, I think it was Shane. I'm not sure. When it was us at the bottom, I knew I was gonna beat them. As I was running up, I knew I was gonna do it. But I was trying to see did I want to win the challenge. And but at the last minute, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just win it just because, you know. And then I did, but I just didn't expect to. I don't know. Like, it was difficult, especially to place people and everything. Like, I didn't know what to expect. And I felt like I jumped too much ahead of myself by winning the challenge. I should have just threw it. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm happy with it now. Because I feel like if I wouldn't have won the challenge, maybe everything would have turned out totally different in the game. But yeah.
Yeah, we had made comments when we first did that episode when it premiered. It was really, really kind of rough to watch you go through that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Now,
oh, what? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead.
I was like, well, what did you, I don't know, like, what was your reasoning for most of that first initial decision?
To place or to win?
To place.
You know, to be honest, I can't even tell you to this day. Like, the placements were just me throwing people everywhere. And when we y'all didn't see when I was like stressing out really bad and the people that I talked to, y'all didn't see a lot of it. And like people were convincing me hardcore and trying to manipulate me to put them at the top. And I felt like that's where I went wrong at because I let people feed me things to put them at the top. So the people that I was closer to, I put all of them at the bottom. And I felt so bad about that. But yeah, I just think at some point I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna throw it and just she told me this, he told me this, let me just start placing. And then once I was at the final 5, I was like, wow, I put the most like the people that I could have worked with and that I trust at the bottom. And that kind of put me in a bad place with many people in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't like rearrange, you know, you kind of like
it was bad
replacing it and stuff.
Yeah.
Rough.
It was really bad. Like there's things that y'all didn't see. Like it was horrible.
Well, we're glad you made it through it, and you had sounds like a great experience out of this whole thing, even though it was kind of a building block to what was to come, I guess.
Yes.
Well, we're up for the first elimination. What was it? Nicole was on the bottom.
My girl.
Yes. Liz's girl too.
Yeah, it's just my fave.
Oh man.
And she goes home. Connor, you said you were a little bit relieved of not having Nicole anymore, but also a little bit disappointed that she wasn't in the game to bond with more. Do you think that was the right thing to do? Like, do you think that helped you, I guess, in the game?
I mean, honestly, like I feel like it depends. It like her going was positive and negative. It wasn't just strictly one. Like in the sense of like, yes, we had our history, but you see someone there that you know, no matter if you have bad history or not, you know that personally somewhat. You want to gravitate toward that. And so that is something that I was like, okay, I at least know of you. I know you a little bit. We played games together. I don't know these people. There's some that is something that you kind of want to value and keep like with. However, like in the same token, she is someone who knows not only knows me but also kind of knows what I'm capable of. Like as you saw, like everyone was so shocked that I took power over Derek. Nicole wasn't, and Nicole was someone that would have seen that coming because Nicole knows my game enough and knows me enough to know I would do those things. So to have that one factor of someone knowing what I'm actually kind of can be capable of gone, it did allow me to kind of play into the like character that I kind of had of like, oh, I'm just nice old Connor, just trying to make it through. I wasn't hurt to fly. Whereas I don't know if that character would have worked necessarily if Nicole was there. She would have been like, nope, nope, nope. And so it was beneficial that she left, although I just still kind of feel bad about it. Like it was so soon.
Now, initially, that wasn't your choice on the bottom. Initially, you put Jace on the bottom. Thoughts about? I know you said he was a returnee, so you thought he had a chance to play. Do you still think that was a strong decision putting Jace on the bottom?
Yes, because what wasn't showed was Jace told me, I don't care, I already been here, this is y'all time. And I was like, okay, then so he won't have a problem with me putting him at the bottom because he's been here before. And people was upset about that because they was like, well, why didn't you put Kadia at the bottom? Because she's been here before. But the reason behind that was Kadia was talking to me and she was like, I have a boot on my leg, so can you put me at the top because I don't really have a chance right now. And then she said she'll help me out if I put her at the top. So we kind of made that agreement. But Jace on the other hand, he was just like, I've been here before. This is your time. You can put me at the bottom. Do whatever you want to do. So I was like, okay, then you're okay with going home, and that's why I did that. Like it was nothing really against Jace. It was just the fact that he's been here before, and he told me that. Like he told me it's okay to put him at the bottom. And that's what y'all didn't see on camera, our agreement with that.
No, personally, because Liz and I haven't gotten a chance to talk about the episode yet. But as far as we are in the game, like he's still in the game, so I thought it was really strategic that you're going after such a power player the first round. So
I wanted Nicole to stay, and I mouthed to her like, "Pick me to defend you," but she didn't. Yeah, like you can see it. Like you have to pause it, but I was like, "Pick me," but she didn't. She ended up, picking Derek. But yeah.
Well, she said when she was on here, she said she considered picking Connor, just for that better the devil kind of thing. Yeah, Connor, what would you have done?
So a lot this was kind of touched on a little bit in my confessional. I talked about the whole thing. It's a game, but I still have that human element at least somewhat, and I could tell she was getting upset, and she was like, I felt bad for her that she was in the bottom, so I was there to comfort her. And I was like on the couch mouthing to her like, "You okay? Everything all right? Like you need cheer up, everything okay?" Like I'm trying to be there for her. I mean, if I would have picked it, if she would have picked me, I don't know what I would have done, but I believe in that moment, strictly in that moment, I would like to think I would have saved her. However, that would have been a really tough thing for me to do. I saw that. I really tried to avoid that. It would have been a tough thing for me to do, but I think I might have done anyway. And I think it also stemmed from the fact that, I even said it, it's early. It's round one. I feel like that has something to do with it. Baggage or not, I feel like I would have been inclined to just be like, okay, it's round one. I don't want to.
So we had somebody pop out of Connor's closet. Now we have somebody sneaking into Tessa's room. This is Liz. You better watch behind you too. We don't know when the next person. I have windows behind me, so if somebody shows up behind me, I'm gonna anyway.
That would be so creepy. Like pops up in front of your window.
the switch happens. Nicole gets sent home, no save. Our next vote is we lose my personal favorite right after Liz's personal favorite, Asher. Was that a hard decision for you two, or was that just kind of, it seemed like the consensus at the time anyway?
You want to go ahead? Or you want me to go, Tessa?
You can go.
Okay. I'm starting to see a theme here. All right. So for me, anyways, like I really like Asher on the personal level, and like I think she's really sweet. She's really just kind. Like everything you see in Asher is how she is. She's one of the most kindest people. And on that regard, like even though it was early in the game, I could still see that. And so in that like it was kind of hard to do that just because like she was super nice. However, like at least with the first round, I wanted to be with the consensus of what the majority wanted, because if you're with the majority, you're talking with them, that can kind of lead you into further bonds with people. And I didn't have a horse in the race too much. Besides, I really would rather have kept Jackie, which ended up, I said that's why I wanted to keep Jackie. And like I also kind of wanted to keep Jace. I feel like some people wanted to keep Jace because Jace is someone that is a big threat above them. I didn't see myself as a huge threat, therefore I didn't need a shield like that in that moment. I didn't feel like. However, I saw as the two returnees, a lot of people would be running to Kadia because everyone loves Kadia. And I was like, everyone's going to be going to Kadia. Not everyone's going to be going to Jace. Everyone loves Kadia. What about Jace? And I wanted to at least be there for Jace somewhat. And we even talked, like, that's where the kind of bro thing kind of happened behind the scenes. Like, Bro-Balone, Bro-Mania, all that. And so, yeah, see.
Bro-Mania, exactly.
And so, like, I wanted to keep him just for – and also, like, I wanted someone on my side, at least someone with me, that I had confident could win a competition. That's one thing I didn't know if I could do. And I wanted someone at least that I think could do that. And if they did do it, would look out for me. So that's why also I want to keep Jace. And with the whole trio thing, like whether it was a lie or not, from my perspective, they all three spent a lot of time together. They always walked around together. We're always in rooms together. I don't know if that's real or not, but I'm getting told it and I'm looking at it around me. It makes sense. It adds up. Who am I good to be like, well, I think that's a lie. It makes sense. They're all around each other. Like, I feel like they could have done more to disassociate themselves when they found out they were a trio. But I feel like they were just like wanted to bunch up together, and that kind of made the perception of a trio even more realistic to be true, which is why it was more like, okay, I'll hop on the train of that.
Yeah, Tessa, you seem to be nodding in agreement. Was that kind of just the consensus of the house at the time?
Yes, that was spot on.
And then we get to one of the hardest games to play in a competition like this. Liz, you call it touchy subjects, is that right? They kind of trick you at first, but it comes out that you do take a quiz and nominate people for some not great things. Did you two kind of know where the game was going, or were you totally surprised when Wes surprised you with the twist? Tessa?
Oh, Tessa, go first. Go, Tessa.
Oh, what?
Were you surprised when he started out as a memory challenge and then it switched to the touchy subjects?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't. But, I wasn't in there when it switched to the touchy subjects. So it didn't affect me that much, But I wasn't surprised that was going to be the twist. Because there were some questions on there that was really harsh. Like, who's the snake? That was a big problem because almost everybody picked Madison, of course. And who should win? Who should have won the first challenge? It was just like really controversial. But I expected it to go that route. But like also to be honest, I feel like everybody was just throwing names down on that paper. So it wasn't like hard feelings towards anyone. And many people didn't understand that when it twisted around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor, were you a little nervous?
Like you want to say something?
I actually was surprised. Like I've played games, I've played touchy subject, and I actually did not see it coming. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, they just want to see where people lie. Like they want just like a lot of stuff like you can just mark down. They wanted people's perspective in the moment as well. And so I feel like just on paper, like some questions, I was like, oh, that makes sense. I know we also do confessionals, but I feel like this makes sense, And then also in the head, I was like, well, I actually didn't see it coming. I'll be the first one to admit I did not see it coming. I was expecting it to be the memory one, because I saw that in past seasons. Like, I know, that made sense.
Connor, you got pretty close to the end. I think maybe 5th or something like that.
So
Something.
yeah.
Unfortunately, neither of you pulled off this win. Were you nervous about when Kadia put her blocks up?
Very.
Oh.
But I thought she was gonna have my back because I put at the top on the first round. But I'm not salty about that though.
Doesn't sound like it.
I was really nervous. But yeah. It was I didn't expect to be at the bottom, to be honest. I expected to be higher than I was, and I was kind of hurt about it because our agreement that we did make of me putting her at the top.
It looks like one of our hosts did a shout out that they love Tessa. So congratulations. I don't know which host it was. They didn't switch their profile, but we'll find out later at our next staff meeting. So
Tessa's overrated. I'm sorry.
Connor, when you get slapped the next time I see you, don't think I did you wrong.
Connor, were you nervous going into this round of Kadia's placement?
I was, because like I said, I didn't know where I stood with her. I spent most of my time in terms of 2 attorneys talking to Jace, and I knew everyone. You saw the reaction when Kadia entered. You saw the cheers. You saw people going crazy, clapping up a storm. You saw people hugging each other. It was intense and crazy. I'm like, all these people are gonna want to work with Kadia. I don't see me being the type of person Kadia is gonna want to work with. And in that moment, I talked a little bit with the vote and whatnot, but not anything that was substantial that I feel good about being safe. So when she did keep me, I was pleasantly surprised because I was like, okay, something's working. I'm not sure what's working, but something is. That was cool.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's what they say.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. Yeah.
So Kadia makes her placement. Any surprises? Derek being at the bottom, or did you two expect that? Tessa, we'll start with you because we've been starting with Connor. Were you surprised that Derek was on the bottom, or was that kind of the feel?
No, because I heard their conversation that they had.
Oh, what was this? Okay, explain.
So I heard Derek tell Kadia to put him at the bottom. And a part of me was just like, okay, they got something up their sleeve. They're planning something. But I still kept it to myself, though. I didn't tell anyone. Because as y'all know, I was really quiet in the game. But I didn't tell anyone, but I knew how everything was going to go. And everybody else was surprised, though, of course, because, but I heard them talk in the room. I heard their whole plan. I heard all of it. So it wasn't a surprise to me. The surprise came when it didn't work out as they planned and he went home. Mm-hmm. That was the main thing. Look at Connor.
So Connor, I know you tried to stay away from this Clapgate scandal, and you were like, I was clapping, and then I stopped clapping because I was talking about blueberry muffins or something like that. But you talked to Derek, and you kind of got things worked out with him, didn't you? How did that conversation go from your side?
So yeah, I never clapped. I was thinking about blueberry muffins. I was thinking about I don't know which kind they were, but they looked really good in my mind, and I was focused on that. I
not the Clapgate,
right? So I think if I remember correctly, I don't know. I think I still feel like Derek was the one that kind of wanted to talk to me and Jay specifically. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, I kind of have my theories on it. He put us in the moment and wanted to talk to us. And I will say, I know there's a lot of questioning on me and the Kadia side of things when I went to Kadia about that. And so I knew Derek told me that the whole plan, and I knew everything. I knew this was all going to happen. I didn't 100% know that Kadia was doing it for that reason, but I knew it was kind of happening, and it seemed cordial. Although some things were a bit foggy in the moment. I believe, honestly, that if I have to take an honest answer of why Derek, I think he pulled Jake's side, obviously, because him and Jace, Jace put him as number one. So that makes sense. I think he saw me as someone who was he could like kind of like say, okay, would you save me? And I feel like he kind of saw someone like, I don't want to say like someone that's like easily intimidated or anything, but like I feel like he saw me as someone that would kind of like not have the cojones, the word I use a lot, the cojones to look him in the eye and say, I'm sending you home. And so I guess that kind of worked in my favor. And
He
so
didn't think you had the balls to say that.
I was trying to be PG.
Okay.
Hashtag cojones, but that's what my plan. Like, yeah, I knew in the moment what was kind of happening. I was kind of informed, so it didn't really shock me.
But what may have shocked you is his choice of defender per se.
So I like when he pulled me aside, it was weird because like we talked some in the episode and whatnot, but by no means was it a talk of like, I trust you, trust me, let's do it. It was more a talk of discussing boats, and like we talked about discussing boats, his 2 boats and whatnot. But I had a lot of conversations with boats with a lot of different people that wasn't shown for time. So he wasn't special in that. I just had a lot of different conversations about boats. It was nothing along the lines of like, let's work together. He pulled me aside. I felt it was out of nowhere. This is the guy that kept moving my blocks, and the challenge kept touching him, almost moving him. Like, this is that same guy. And I was like, I was confused. And I was like, but I almost saw it as like a blessing. Like, I didn't ask for this necessarily, but now that I'm here, I'm going to take it. Which is why I was so assertive, like, looking him in the eye, getting close to him, like, I got you, shaking hands and whatnot.
And I think you were trying to blame Sabrina for moving your blocks a little bit too much. I remember this. Like, you're like, oh, now we're even. And she's like, no, we've been even for a while.
Yeah, apparently get this. We talked about this on Twitter. I said it, and she apparently mistook me for Tessa, which honestly I didn't know. Like maybe she saw like my big old hoops that I wear sometimes, like behind the scenes. I don't know. Like that's kind of what happened. Like I mean, maybe it's the hoops. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Like because it's like to me also like when she moved me originally, the reason I didn't move her first, I moved Jada. Just because I knew I already had one kind of person I was at odds with the last challenge. I didn't want to make more. But what you didn't see, which kind of irked me personally, is that round of everyone deciding. I specifically went up to Sabrina to talk to Sabrina. I wanted to talk to Sabrina. I wanted to like talk to her game, whatnot. And she's like, I'm busy talking with other people, but I'll get around to you. She never got around to me. And her new round, she never got around to me. And I was waiting for it too. Then she says, we haven't talked, Connor. I'm like, whose fault is that? I tried. I tried. Like, I really was like, let's talk. And then you didn't have time for me, but you're going to use the excuse of, well, we never talked. But as soon as she moved me, I knew who I was moving next. Like, and I moved her. And then she was like, oh, you already moved me. I was like, no, I didn't. That was not me.
Well, then we get, unfortunately, no, Connor, you get a power. What did you think of getting that power?
I like the power. I mean, I like any kind of power. Powers are cool. I like the power. It was cool. I also want to clarify. There was a lot of questions I saw. Like,
yeah,
the reason I said what I said to Kadia is I wanted to keep up the facade of like, yes, I made this huge move sending Derek home. I wanted to kind of feel like I still don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to keep it the facade of Connor doesn't really know what he's doing. Connor's just kind of here. He doesn't really know, which is why like I knew like enough. Like I did not like me saying all that to Kadia was a bunch of baloney. I was more so trying to appeal to the fact of trying to convince her that that was an accident. I'm just Connor. Like I'm playing. I thought that's what you wanted, Kadia. Like I didn't care what she wanted, but I had to at least appeal like that. I wanted at least to try and appeal like that to her, and I was hoping that she'd be like not too mad. Like, oh, Connor just got confused. Connor just tried to help me out, but she definitely took it the way I wasn't wanting her to, which is like, dang. But that was my intention, and it was 100% strategy to try and like not have the blame not be entirely on me.
Now, Tessa, picture yourself in Connor's shoes. Like Derek says, Tessa, I choose you to be my defender. What do you think you'll do?
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all are breaking up really bad.
I'll repeat the question. So,
hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check my Wi-Fi connection.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
All right, so picture yourself in Connor's shoes. You're choosing for the defender. Do you save Derek? Hello?
Okay. I hear you now.
Hey.
Welcome back. Perfect. So picture yourself in Connor's shoes. Derek chooses you as a defender. What do you think you'll do for Derek?
Power.
Ah.
I hate power.
So unfortunately, Derek does go home after that. It seems like it probably would have been a popular choice, especially coming from you two. And then we go up to the vote. So thoughts? Tessa, we'll start with you about the vote.
Wait, the vote's on what?
The vote after the one that actually sends Jada home eventually. Like,
oh my gosh. To be honest, I kind of knew that I wasn't going home. Because like I was pretty strong with if I stay in the shadows that I'm not gonna go home. But I was shocked that Jada went home. Like I was extremely shocked because I didn't hear anyone mention her name. Everyone was saying Jada and I were safe. We have nothing to worry about. I thought was it Madison with us? Madison? I thought Madison was gonna go home because nobody really liked her in the game.
You kind of like just chilled on the balcony, right? You were like, "Oh, I'm fine. Just everyone go run around and try to save themselves." You felt pretty safe.
Yeah, like me and Jada was literally having a whole conversation. We're like, we're good, but y'all didn't see when Josh and Jace came to talk to us out on the balcony, and they was like, y'all need to go talk to people because y'all are not getting to know anyone. If y'all want to stay safe, then y'all need to get to know people instead of like talk to each other. But which I did, and y'all didn't see that. But I know I talked to Connor, Sabrina, and Jackie. And Connor was just like, Chelsea, I got you no matter what. And y'all didn't see me and Connor like agree on many things. Connor was like, I'll save you if you save me. And like we met in the live and we got really close. And I hate that y'all didn't see that because in the game we were actually like really, really close. But yeah, I kind of knew I was safe because everybody just was like, Chelsea, you're safe. Like I'm voting Jackie or I'm voting Madison. So I was just like, okay. And I was just chilling, but it was a shock that Jada went home and I was really sad. Yeah.
Connor, was it tough for you to see Jada go home as well, or because it sounded like you were protecting Tessa pretty well from that new news that we just found out. This is why we like to get to do these interviews to see all the stuff that we don't get to see on camera.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of my relationships were focused on like kind of the Jackie's thing and also like the Jace thing. Tessa was my number one, period.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really focused on too much, but that was the honest truth. And I felt like we were kind of in the same boat. I really want to work with her. With that vote specifically, like after like doing what I did, I was trying to find something. I needed some sort of foundation. I needed some sort of like something to hold on to, some sort of alliance. Because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't feel very good. And so my goal was we're all three in a room together. I'm not a picky person. I was like, okay, there's three of us in a room together. Works for me. And I also wanted to like mend things with Jade. I thought that was very important. And I also was able to use the fact that like me sending home Derek was for the house, causing a lot of unnecessary drama. I did it for the peacefulness of the house. And I think that's something Jada kind of appreciated. And I was able to use that also to kind of mend things. And we were able to form that group with her and Luke. And I wasn't going to vote Jada. I have an alliance, so I'm not going to vote her. Like we had our history, but I'm not voting her now. And I knew that Jada was, I think her name was out there. In my perspective, what I was hearing, it was not as clear cut seemingly as the Asher one. So I thought there might have been a chance it could sway a little bit, which is why I was more assertive with like not being willing to vote with the group and just vote Jada. And if that alliance would have stuck, I would have tried to bring in Tessa.
So we'll just speed through a few things because Tessa does have class and we want her to pass all of her courses. You said you were taking psychology. In an early interview for the show, you said you actually wanted to work at a prison. Is that still going on? Is that what you're going to school for?
Yes. But I just really want to go into mental health. I love it so much. I just love helping people, and like I feel like there's not a lot of people that take mental health seriously, and they're ashamed, and like they're the stigma on it, and people are embarrassed to talk about it, and people are embarrassed to open up about it. And I kind of want to be the person that breaks that cycle, that it's okay if you have a mental illness, it's okay, be open about it, like you should get help. And I just kind of want to be that person to, make it a norm. Like make counseling a norm. Don't be like afraid to say, "Oh, I got therapy today," or I have this problem. This because there's somebody else that's going through that as well. So yeah,
That's awesome. So, quick few things to run through before you do have to take off. You can come back later and explain more. You're totally welcome to. Thoughts about who's coming back? Like we had Derek, Jada, Asher, and Nicole. Who out of those four did you want to come back most of all? Tessa.
I wanted Jada to come back so bad. I just felt like she worked so hard, to be honest, and y'all didn't see that part either, but she worked so hard to like try and get to the top. And I just felt like, she was robbed. Like she was robbed of that.
Well,
But
speaking of being robbed, like you were after the next elimination, there was a big switch up. The vote was read, power was used. Leaves us in the bottom. Connor, we'll come back and we'll refresh everything. But Tessa, you were in the bottom. You were so close. We were rooting for you, but it was between Madison, Sabrina, and you. Was that right?
yeah.
And then you were the last one to be placed out of the three.
I kind of knew that I was leaving because when we was like on the counts and we got the bottom, Sabrina looked back at Jackie and winked at her, and Jackie looked at Sabrina and was like, "I got you." So I was like, "Okay." Like at this point, I know I'm going home.
Mhm.
So I just kind of accepted the fact that I was leaving, but I was surprised too because me and Jackie had gotten really close, and I thought she'll save me, but it just didn't work that way. But yeah, I wasn't surprised that I went home. I just prepared myself, and I was like, okay, it's fine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was tough, but yeah.
Do you think you've gained anything from this experience? Anything that you can use either like in anything? Like, what was your takeaway from this, Tessa?
My takeaway from this is like, don't underestimate myself. Like, if that makes sense. Like, does that make sense to y'all? Like, cause there was times that I was just like, you know what, this gonna happen. It's gonna like I'm not gonna do good, or I'm just stay in the shadows. Like, I know now to be my full self, especially like in the game, and to be the outgoing person that I am, and not let don't feel intimidated by other people, or like don't be afraid to talk to other people, and like just get to know everybody in a game, or heck, even in life. So like I just took that away from it. I'm like, okay, like, if life gives you lemon, make freaking lemonade. Be yourself. You know what I'm saying? my friend looking at me over here like, girl, what? She's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. That's basically it. I don't know.
Well, we want to thank you, Tessa, for being a part of this podcast here. We can check out the rest of this interview. We can dive deeper in with the stuff that we missed from you. Just let us know. We can get you on maybe the next one, probably next week. So we wish you the best in school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you too.
Connor, shut up. Hey, I'll Snapchat you later, Connor. I gotta tell you something.
All right, we'll get back to that later. So, all right.
Okay.
Bye, Tessa.
Bye.
All right. She's amazing. She's such a character too. Like, especially in her confessionals. I know some people said she was a little bit quieter in person, but just like this interview, she like lit up the screen pretty much.
Most definitely. Like that's Tessa. Like Tessa's always like that. She's always been like that. She's really cool. So.
Well, now getting back, we want to hear your thoughts too. So we're at the comeback challenge. You got 4 people vying to come back in the game. Who are you rooting for?
In the moment, anyone but Derek. If you want me to be really specific, and like I wanted Jada number 1, Nicole was right behind Jada, Asher number 3. But I would take either one of them over Derek. Just any one of them, I wouldn't have complained. I would have been able to like work something out. So with Derek, I was just like, oh no.
Now you said you've watched the show in the past, and that's how you found out about it. So you knew about this comeback challenge, or essentially the legacy of this comeback challenge. Was that going through your mind at all when you did take power?
Honestly, I didn't think about it, and I don't regret not thinking about it either. I feel like for me, I'm the type of player that like I like to focus on the things that I can control and focus on the things. I don't want to make a decision based on speculation and that speculation be incorrect and the decision is now flawed because I based it on something that didn't end up happening. Which is why, and also like I figured that we're starting with an even amount of people. A comeback is highly possible. Doesn't mean the comeback's gonna be pre-jury. For all I know, it could have been like a jury comeback, and that would have made sense. And so that's why I was not gonna put all my eggs in that basket and make a decision based on that one thing. That didn't make sense to me. And so obviously I wasn't thrilled with the comeback, but it's the game, and you have to adapt and be adaptable and be able to work with these things. And it wasn't my first choice, but you know it's the game, and I wasn't like gonna be like, no, how? You know, I was like, you know, we'll make it work. We'll figure something.
Well, I'm overall usually like super impressed with all like the strategic gameplay. I know you are an online game player, so you've had a lot of like, I wouldn't say a lot of, but some experience more than other people playing this game. So you've kind of seen different strategies go on. So it's always unique to hear that from somebody. So very nice.
Yeah.
But unique strategies you'll pull off, or at least try to pull off in the next vote. But we are taken to finding your baggage. Like this, like I said before, is like one of my favorite challenges to ever play. What were your thoughts running through the house, grabbing all the tags?
Can I first touch on the decision to sit out Derek? Because
I was going to hit back on that, but yeah, go right ahead.
We want to get back on this first, then we'll do the tags first. And I just want to make sure because I got some things to say on that.
No, let's just back up. Let's go your storyline. Go ahead. So you have the decision to sit somebody out. Who do you choose?
So I know there's a lot of controversy around my decision. There's a lot of people that thought it was that like me sitting out Derek was me betraying him twice, and I should have been more open with it. So what I want to explain to people. I want people to try to understand how I think in that moment and my perspective on it. First of all, Totem Pole is a very fast game. Within him coming back in that challenge, no time to talk game. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
Couldn't talk him at all. Number 2, in my mind, I was like, okay, make a new enemy or someone there that I don't know how to feel about. And the third point that doesn't really get talked about, what I'm going to bring up is this guy invented Karma's Kiss. He invented Karma's Kiss. And you want me to not sit him out? He invented Karma's Kiss. In my mind, he's gonna Karma kiss me. Why would I not sit him out? Like, it was 100% strategic. None ounce of it was personal. If you saw me laughing, I was laughing because I'm not gonna lie. He was, when people are over dramatic for a very like little reason, it makes me kind of laugh. Like, what are you doing? You're being way too over dramatic. Like everything I did was game. I did not enter things any in a personal manner. I came there to play a game. I came there to play the game that I wanted to play and be strategic, but none of my decisions were on a personal manner. Everything was based on my mind. And when seeing someone get so over dramatic after he just came in saying, okay, clean side everyone, I'm cool with everyone, and then one thing doesn't go his way and it's really over dramatic, it made me chuckle because it was like, this is so extreme, dude. It's not that serious. But 100%, I'm sitting him out because I don't know. I hadn't had time to talk to him. I don't know what he's coming with at me. I don't know. If I needed the chance to talk with him. And as you saw, when I had that chance to talk with him, when we made that agreement, shaking hands when we were in the bottom, did I come after him? No, because I finally got the chance to talk to him. So that's the point I wanted to make. And I want people to try and see things from my perspective there. That once I was able to talk things with him and talk it over, we're cool. I don't need to, like, I have no ill will to you anymore. But it was the timing of things. If people saw the same situation differently, he saw it differently than I saw it. And You know, it is what it is. But I do think it's interesting how one situation. It's very intriguing how one situation has two different sides, and it is a very intriguing thing. That's a very interesting thing. But that was my perspective on that, and none of it was personal.
And that's what we enjoy to get down to and give people a chance to express their side of things on these things. So, because often in times we see the editing go one way, and it's just always nicer to see a more of a deep dive, I guess, and delving into the reasoning. So,
most definitely.
Cool.
Thank you. Didn't you get that off my chest? So much
That's
better.
good.
Right? Like that 20 pounds I had to run up a hill with is now gone or something, you know?
Exactly. Get that baggage off your back, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. And then, so unfortunately, the totem pole gets cast. And Connor, we find you in the bottom. What were your initial thoughts about, because it's Jackie and Jace making the decision from that new twist? Were you worried at that point, or yeah?
I was not worried I would go home. I didn't think either one would let me go home. I had that, like, it was the interesting thing about that is I have a medium bond with each of them. Like, I like if you watch Brent still like bond them. I have a medium bond with each of them. So what happens is if they both have to make decisions, the ones they have strong bond with, they're going to choose first. I knew I was good, but because they had stronger bonds individually, those two got placed above me. Yes, they all wanted me to stay. I wasn't in danger of going home, but because of that, I got ranked in the bottom because stronger bonds were chosen before me, and I feel like that's on me as well. I mean, I mean, like, there's no way I could prepare for a twist like that. However, I should have worked on making my medium bombs a bit stronger. I should have worked on getting like one of them to really feel good about me instead of just being like a good thing. But I wanted them to feel great about me, and I could have done more for that. So that definitely is something I wish I could have done more on my own. But like, you know, I wasn't like worried of being going home because I didn't think either of them. I think both of them wanted me there, and I felt that. But yeah, for sure.
Now you said you had medium bonds with the two of them. Who would you say out of the entire cast left were your strongest bonds? I don't know, maybe like top 3 or something. You talked about Tessa was probably your number 1, or at least ranked really high. What about the other people?
So I will say Luke. I always like got along with Luke. We always talked about the game together, and I trusted Luke enough. I tried to form that alliance with Luke. I didn't know that he voted her out in that moment, but I still trusted Luke. Her being Jada. Jace, I wanted to ride the Jace wave as much as possible. Because I know that when he gains momentum, you want to be on that momentum instead of not being on that momentum and getting hit by the wave of Jace. And let's see, memory. Weirdly enough, I would also then say Jackie. And I think it's testament to the fact that I did not build strong enough relationships. I built decent relationships with people, but there were people that had strong relationships. And I think, like, in my mind, we have a good relationship with that person, someone else, like a Shane or a Josh or like a Kadia or like someone else, or like a Sabrina has built a strong one with them. And I think that was my mistake. I think I built enough relationships to get by, but until to get to that next level, I didn't do enough. And so, yeah, I would definitely say like those were 3 of the people I had a pretty strong relationship with.
I was wondering if you were going to get to Jace actually in the start of that, because Jace was the one vote to save you in that. So
yeah,
I really like Jace. Like I mean, I don't know if it's just the inner me wanting to be a bro for once and trying to get like maybe he was contagious to broness rub off on me, and I somehow had bulging muscles. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen, but like that was like I don't know. I like the idea of like the big strong guy, and then there's one guy that's like the like intern. He's like the word dorky guy, but it's like I'm part of the bro team, and everyone's like, what the hell is this? Like I love that. I think it's so funny. So I just I thought that was fun.
Mm-hmm. And that was totally what Josh was getting at too. Josh, one of the people watching from the Melbourne, Australia. So
this guy.
yeah, you got a fan in Australia and probably fans all over the world by now. So, so unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to Connor. Connor gets, I don't know, what's the term? Not evicted, I guess. Eliminated? Is that what Totem Pole is going to go for?
Yeah, I feel like they say eliminated, right?
Yeah, eliminated.
Eliminated would be the.
It is a house though, so I feel like evicted could work.
You're on a totem
terminated?
pole, so maybe you're like pushed off the totem pole, but you're on the bottom, so maybe it's chopped. I don't know. I was trying to get the logistics in my mind. I don't know.
I like terminated, like I don't know,
Oh,
like you've been terminated, like I don't know.
Wow. It's
that
intense.
seems extreme. Terminated. It's like there's no buyback challenge for you. That's for sure. Terminated.
Terminated.
You're gone.
Well, we don't want to leave. Connor, you are a member of the jury, so we will see you in the further episodes. Thoughts about getting to jury at least? Are you excited you made it that far, or what's your feeling?
I was like so happy to make jury. Like, I mean, I didn't really have jury as a goal. My goal was the best I could, whatever that meant. But to make jury was a big accomplishment. To be a part of that, like I was very happy with that. I was bummed that Tesla was one spot away. She deserved that, and I was upset that she didn't get it. But like I took it upon myself to be like a jury member for both of us. I feel like we both kind of earned our mark, so I kind of kept that in mind as well. And for me, like I just was honored to get there. I think in a game like this, to get to jury is like I feel like that's what everyone wants, right? So to get there, I was very happy about. So.
And congratulations for doing so well on that. Didn't make it as far as we were kind of hoping for it, but still.
Yeah, I was super stoked that you made it to jury.
Yeah, I was very happy myself. Like as soon as it said, I was like, "Oh my god, I did it!" Like my mom was gonna be happy. Can't wait. Like, Mom, I made jury. Oh my god.
Was that who we saw snuck into your room earlier? Was that your mom?
Honestly, I don't know because I didn't even get to go to them. I don't even know who it was. It could have been like a ghost or something. The guy coaching us now. I mean, there's one of three: my brother, mom, or dad. Probably my brother, but I don't even know. So who knows?
It could have been a ghost too. I don't know. Liz, any questions for Connor? Any?
Oh well, what was your takeaway from the experience? Like, it's like you seemed to have a good time, but like, what was your thing?
My takeaway was, I mean, I feel like we all went into the game for our own reasons. I think my reasons for entering the game was very known. My personal reasons for entering the game. My takeaway mostly was, I was happy I got to provide a platform that my people aren't being like stereotyped shown on a TV screen, that were like real people, and like I wanted to prove that like people like me can do the bold things, have the word cojones to do those said things. And also I think the biggest takeaway I learned is like, I always give myself a hard time as a game player in games. I'm like, there's so many people that are so much more strategic. Some people that have that mind that's like boom, 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 boom of like all these possibilities. They know what to do with them. I think I learned that I don't have a horrible mind. I think I maybe give myself too much a hard time, and then I think I have a decently strategic mind, and I'm happy with how I played. I don't have too many regrets, and I left. This wasn't touched on either, but to get to Totem Pole, I flew for the first time in my life. I never flown before.
Oh.
So I hopped on that plane with my mama. Of course, she goes with me everywhere, like mom. And so like we hop on that plane, and that like having that experience and sharing that experience with the amazing Totem Pole like thing was just like doing a whole bunch of new things that I'm not used to doing. Like it was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it all.
Would you ever consider, I don't know, flying to maybe Australia when things like improve? Like I hear season 3's casting.
I mean, put me in the wilderness, I'll try and survive. I'll do it. Like I don't know how much money I did Rofoot, like, so I mean if I can stay in the woods of Kentucky and not die, I mean I like my chances kind of. Maybe I'll survive, And never been out of the country either, so stay tuned.
I guess that wraps things up. Connor, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I mean, coming out tonight, being at your house, you had so far to travel and whatnot, but we travel digitally these days, right?
All the way up that staircase. Had to go all the way up that staircase. Longest time of my life. Step after step, grueling, man.
Well, I really appreciate what you brought to the series, and like you said, to promote this platform and trying to get people from different backgrounds to kind of diversify even more ways than one. So thank you for coming out and being a part of the show.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me. I was looking forward to this. I'm glad I got to do it. It was fun. Thank you guys.
Yeah. And I'm sure we want to recap too, maybe before the finale, about maybe which way, or maybe afterwards about why you voted for somebody at the end. So Stick tuned for that one. All right, Liz, any final words before we wrap this up?
Nah. Good stuff. Keen
All
for
right.
the next episode.
Yeah. We are very keen on the next episode. That's a term I learned
Oh, yeah,
from Liz.
keen. You guys don't say keen, apparently.
All right. Thanks, Connor. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And you, everyone, have a fantastic night.